Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, 12:53 in Honolulu, 6:53 in New York on Friday. Happy Aloha Friday as we say on the islands. It is the 3rd day of November, 2023, and this is the Daily Report for Gold and Silver. Traders, we are going to finish the week with gold having a moderate gain of $5.70 or 0.29%, taking an ounce of gold to $1,999.20. What's interesting is the high came close to $2,012, coming in at $2,011.90, but that is not the whole story, because in the case of today's gain in gold, the devil is certainly in the details, and the detail is a major decline in the US dollar. The best way to visualize the importance of dollar weakness and the fact that traders were predominantly sellers in the market is to look at the Kitco Gold Index, which I have just put up. At the time I took this screen print, spot gold was trading higher to the tune of $7.10 and fixed at $1,992.20. It is the components, however, of today's trading activity that garners the most interest. Normal trading actually took gold lower by $13.70. If not for dollar weakness, which added $20.80, we would have seen a negative print in gold rather than a moderate gain on the day. Absolutely one of the strongest declines we have seen in the dollar in quite some time, taking the dollar to a 6-week low. You have to go back to about the 10th of September, which is the last time the dollar index held this low of a value. The weakness in the US dollar over the last 2 days declined its value by about 1.5%. Today was extremely significant, opening well above and closing well below the 50-day moving average. This is the average that technical market analysts use to determine whether or not a stock or commodity is in a short-term bullish or bearish demeanor. That broke through there, and that's significant. It is significant because on many occasions it signals a major drop is imminent. Now in August, as the dollar was moving higher, it did briefly break below and then back above. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the occurrence of the dollar falling extremely hard, and this occurred in July, and it resulted in the dollar index breaking below 100 for the first time in over a year and not finding support until 99 and change. And you can see how significant that price point was when it was achieved back in July of 2023, because we need to go back to March of 2022 to find the last occurrence of the dollar index at this value. That also corresponds to the point in time when the Federal Reserve raised its benchmark Fed funds rate since the Federal Reserve dropped rates to near zero by raising interest rates by 0.25%. The reason today's drop in the dollar was so significant is because it occurred after a jobs report revealed a lower than expected number of jobs were added, which increased the expectations that the Federal Reserve, will not raise rates again in December, but most importantly, might have concluded the entire monetary policy of rate hikes altogether. Today's drop in the dollar to 104.86 is significant for one other major reason. If we take a look at this closing price here and we match it to points in time in which the dollar either found resistance or a top or found support, you can see that it has occurred during a number of instances between 2022 And now, over the last couple of months, the dollar has been range-bound. Today's break below the 50-day moving average is significant as it pertains to gold. Because when we look at gold, and I'll pull up a weekly chart, we can see that over the last 4 consecutive weeks, gold has had a major rise week in and week out. And that was with the dollar being range-bound. If we see a continuation of dollar weakness and the geopolitical tensions that currently exist in the Middle East as well as in Russia and Ukraine remain unresolved, we could see the necessary components to move gold substantially higher, challenging and possibly taking out the all-time record high that occurred in March 2022. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We will talk to you next week for the next daily update and review. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.